Alright guys, what happened at the PCA show? What happened? Well, PCA as an overall as an organisation, I don't have much feedback on them. I was told not to do it by a few people, but for me, the way I kind of live my life, especially as of the last few years, is to always, I won't say last few years, but quite a while now, is to always experience things rather than just hearsay and then never experience it myself. So I said, you know what, I'll do PCA. So I've done PCA and it was okay, seemingly all right. The people there were quite nice, seemingly run okay. Decent show. Nothing bad to say about the show, the organisation and whatnot. It's just like any other show, really. An amateur show, it is what it is. Now, let's get to my class. Okay, PCA, so how they ran Classic Physique was interesting. So the second point, how they run Classic Physique. It was, or Classic Bodybuilding they called it. It was different. Like, I was the only one that came in Classic Physique trunks. Not bashing anyone else that came in their trunks, bodybuilding trunks. I just found it weird that everybody had bodybuilding trunks, and I was like, okay, this is strange. You know, everyone's getting changed backstage. But it is what it is. It covered half my ass, which probably got knocked down a few marks on maybe, I don't know. But you can still see, you know, size definition for sure. But yeah, that was the first thing. Second thing, they were calling out all sorts of normal bodybuilding poses. I do bodybuilding shows as well. So I'm an actual bodybuilder that does bodybuilding and classic physique. Bodybuilding and classic physique. It was natural for me to do those anyway, but it caught me off guard. Like, this guy was the head judge or the announcer or whatever was asking, you know, bodybuilding poses. Mandatory bodybuilding poses is a bit, it's not really classic physique, is it? It's just another bodybuilding show. Yeah. So I found that a bit weird, but again, that's how PCA do things. Whatever. I don't own the show. I don't, have a say in the show. It's just my opinion. I just don't think that's classic. It was just a bodybuilding show, in my opinion. Yeah, and if you're gonna base it on a bodybuilding show with my bodybuilding man series, you might as well have classed it or judged it as completely as a bodybuilding category. Because where's the difference between bodybuilding and classic? Anyway, leave that for another video. But yeah, PCA, apart from that, that's my only critique. Ran well, good energy, the crowd was pumping. I think I got the crowd fired up a bit because when I was posing, I hear some good old shouting. I love that shit. It gets me fired up. It's an energy barrier thing. We bounce off each other. It's great. Energy ping pong, should I call it? Yeah, that was great. So PCA done a good job of putting together a show. But in terms of judging, it was very hit and miss when it came to my class. It was very strange. For example, like with this show, I'll have to be honest, in terms of muscle mass, I'd give myself the pass. I'd give myself the win on that. Structure-wise, apples and oranges, you know. Structure-wise, would I say do I have the best structure? It's tough to say because PCA don't make it clear exactly what they're looking for in classic physique. They don't. So it's a sticky one. So structure-wise, I don't know. But I know my structure's okay. It's not too bad. It's dense. I got a dense structure, but it's not the widest. You know, that's my downfall in terms of overall. The physical development, I have to give myself that. With physical development, I definitely have to give myself the win there, the pass. That's me. You know, I know for a fact physical development is what I pride myself on that. You know, I really work hard to develop my body. It's not something that I was just gifted genetically with. I was skinny as hell when I was younger, which has made me a little bit insecure when I was younger. So, you know, I worked hard to kind of develop my body, like a lot harder than, not to say most, but a lot harder than what people might normalize. But anyway, let's talk about posing. My posing's not been the best as of recent because over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, you know, before COVID, I wasn't posing during COVID, but before that, I was focusing primarily on my business as a self-employed individual. I'm a personal trainer and a coach. So I was prioritizing on building that business, building revenue, building clientele, building referrals and all that. So just building myself in that space. So I wasn't really practicing posing much. So I kind of become a newbie, in my opinion. And I get that. Now, posing wasn't bad, but I get that it could have been better for me, for my standard, I know for a fact. But I wouldn't say it was weak. So on that one, I can't give the win to the winner. Again, this is a very honest review. I'm not trying to be salty. This is just me giving my honest review and opinion. Posing, mine for me as I know myself, it could have been better. But comparing it to everybody on that stage, sorry guys, I just had a lot of votes. Comparing it to everybody on that stage, I could have that could have went my way as well. Okay. What else really is there to, the condition, of course, condition. My condition is getting better and better as I attack each show. With the BMBF, it was a last minute decision to kind of jump on there. I just said, fuck it, a couple of weeks out, I'm doing it. Wasn't near ready, but I said, I'll do it, I'll just go for it. The next one had help of my coach, my current coach, which has been going great, by the way, might add. And we brought in a good condition like for that show. Like I didn't get to pump up as properly as I wanted to backstage because the organization was a bit off when it came to some classes, which was, again, it happens at amateur shows. It's not bashing PCA, it just is what it is. But anyway, condition, I don't see myself losing on that for first place either. I don't see myself losing on condition. I don't see myself losing, really with any of the main points in bodybuilding. I just don't see myself losing. And that's not me being salty and saying I'm better than X, Y, and Z. It's just me stating facts. The pictures don't lie. As I'm talking, guys, I'm sure you guys have been looking at the pictures that I've been uploading. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen them earlier. But anyway, here they are. You can see them for yourself. I just don't believe I should have lost that. It's an interesting one. Bodybuilding is very subjective. It depends on the judges. But at the end of the day, classic bodybuilding, classic physique, whatever you want to call it, at the end of the day, it's in the bodybuilding category. You're here to show development. You're here to show what you've grown in the gym. Yeah, there's got to be grace and proportions and whatnot. Even so, my legs are big. I always had a huge leg. Well, not always, but I've worked my ass off to get huge ass legs. I used to have like broomstick legs. But at the end of the day, I don't have a tiny upper body, so it couldn't have been too much of a proportion. I am self-aware enough to see that I do have some strengths. I'm not riddled with all weaknesses. There are some strengths there. So this is just a very honest review for me. The other classes, the way people won, it made sense, and then it came to mine, it was just completely off, in my opinion. I just didn't get that. And then the second point, my judging, my critique, my feedback from the head judge at Faye something. It was very backhanded in terms of missing my point. Like my question, the screenshots will be on the screen, guys, so you guys can see my exact feedback. My question was, what exactly did first place have over me that I can work on as an athlete to make sure that doesn't happen again, so I can be better? I come to win. I'm not here for second. I'm not here to participate and put it on my Instagram that I participated in. To tell my mom that I want to win. So obviously I want to reference first place. If I didn't get first place, what can I improve on that first place has? His feedback was, as stated, pretty silly. You've got this weakness and that weakness, and your back, and you could bring out more proportion from upper to lower. And I didn't want to bash Alexander because he's first place, and he works hard, man. He got his first place, okay. But my weakness, which is my back, might I add, far overpowered first place. It wasn't. Again, I don't want to bash Alexander first place. He's a good guy, but I can't compare my back to his back and say, and in any realm, it doesn't matter the category, physique even, and say that he beats me. I just can't do that. That's my weakness. That's what he said a weakness of mine was. But first place didn't really have the same level of back that I had. It doesn't make sense. Secondly, he said proportion upper to lower. It's not like I've got huge quads. Like I've worked, I love leg day. I do bodybuilding because I love to train. All right, so that's why I developed so well. I don't train for bodybuilding. It's more of a healthy mix. But even so, my upper body is not small. It's not a small, undeveloped, tiny little upper body. And muscle for muscle wise, I think Alexander had a really good chest and a really good set of abs. Genetically, just really sweet, right? Great to look at. But let's talk about back, triceps, biceps. I win. It's. Again, I'm not bashing him. I'm just stating what's from the pictures, what's from the footage. It's there. So if you're saying that, it's proportions, well, even my weaker and lacking proportions win. So it just wasn't answering the question at all. So he was mentioning on my weak points, and then he said, I said, for example, I said to him for another part of the question that he missed was, what does PCA look for in classic physique? In the classic physique division, what does PCA look for? You know, and how can I utilize that? You know, to become first. Oh, we look for classic lines. Okay, classic lines, and we look for physical development. Again, I'm not bashing first place, but okay, cool. We look for proportion and flow and symmetry. I couldn't have been that bad posing. You know, coming from the pictures, the pictures talk. Yeah, and whatnot. And he said basically they look for what they look for in bodybuilding, but with the classic lines and something else. What was it? And symmetry, flow, and it's the same as bodybuilding. So, like I said, there's not much difference between PCA's classic physique or classic bodybuilding category and bodybuilding. And based upon that, and what he said they look for, I just couldn't find it. And mind you, at this point, I'm very level-headed. I've relaxed. I've you know, talked to my coach and talked to my very close friends, and you know, and even before that, I came to the deliberation myself, the decision myself that, you know what, it's a regional. It's okay. It's okay. And I got nothing bad to say about first place. So I was at a good place when he said this. So I couldn't grasp what he was trying to say with logic. If I take all of his points into consideration, I still should have took the show. But anyway, that was PCA, my whole experience, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The journey is not over. Okay, so this weekend, next Sunday, the 19th of September, I have got the Two Bros Pro Naturals regional qualifier. The goal is to bring the best me possible. Me and coach have been working hard, and very, very smart. You know, this guy's so knowledgeable, Rob Waterhouse. Absolute respect, bro. Thank you very much. We're still working, we're still developing. Shit, we're even getting fuller. We're getting fuller for the show. Like, don't forget, I'm natural, so I need to show as much fullness as possible. And I've got great certain developed areas that I really want to, you know, blow up, let's say. So we got that 19th of September. That's the next show. Okay, we've got a few more lined up, but that's the next one, guys. So stay tuned. The next video will be a workout, which happened right after the show on the same day where I lost the PCA show because I was pissed. I need to get the energy out. So I trained after a show. Yes, I did. And guess what I trained? My weakness, my back. So I had to do that. So yeah, guys, stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed and you made it to this far in the video, please subscribe. You know, it's a massive booster to me. Helps me to. It makes me want to put out more content as well, which I will anyway. But it just gives me that drive to do so. Like the video, dislike the video. It is what it is. Share the video as well. Comment, please. Engage with the video. That'd be great. With anything you want to see, guys, I am game to upload. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm out.